The Freestar Collective, Rangers, the good guys, and a Western fantasy, but living a bad life in order to stay free. Is it worth it? And how much longer can the Freestar Collective survive on scraps? How much longer will the peace treaty between the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies hold out? We are going to cover that and more in today's video. This is episode 3 in our Starfield faction deep dive, where we break down literally everything there is to know about Starfield's 4 main factions, and add a little speculation for our own fun. We've already covered the Crimson Fleet and why they maybe aren't as bad as we think, and the United Colonies and their corruption. But now, it's time to cover the Freestar Collective, and why they are the lawful good of Starfield. So if you would be so kind as to drop the video a like, to really help me out, I'd appreciate it. And consider subscribing if you're looking for a place to stay up to date on all Starfield news, leaks, discussions, and plenty of other Bethesda focused content. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. This is the Freestar Collective. So what do we already know about the Freestar Collective? Well, the Freestar Collective is one of 2 established governments inside of the settled systems. According to law, they are a confederation of 3 distinct star systems, and they are currently humanity's 2nd largest military force behind the United Colonies. The capital city for the Freestar Collective is of course Aquila City, which was founded and built in 2167 by a man named Solomon Cole, who we unfortunately do not have a face for. The settlement of Aquila City over time became a bustling regional hub and became refuge for the Freestar Collective, who sought to remain independent from the United Colonies during the Colony Wars of 2310, and by 2330, the time that the game is set in, the city is home to, quote, a variety of people who have one thing in common. They believe in the sanctity of personal freedom and individuality, end quote. One thing I would like to clear up before we go any further is the difference between the Freestar Collective and the Freestar Rangers. The Freestar Collective is just the overall faction in short, whereas the Freestar Rangers are the soldiers and the ones who carry out peacekeeping duties for the people of the collective. It has also been shown that they operate outside of a facility known as The Rock. We already know where both Neon and New Atlantis are located, with Neon being on Vol 11, or Vol 2, we aren't sure yet, and New Atlantis being in the Alpha Centauri system. However, we are still unaware of where Aquila City is located, and which systems the Freestar Collective run and own. However, if we go back to our Crimson Fleet deep dive, you should remember that I mentioned how the pirates were once only a problem for the Freestar Collective faction, until they began settling across more star systems, and in lore it is stated that, quote, the pirates of the Crimson Fleet have begun to settle further than the Crix system, end quote, which might indicate that the Freestar Collective and Aquila City are in said Crix system. I do personally believe that the planet in which Aquila City is on once started as a trading outpost, as we can see massive farms outside of the city's walls, which would have started small at first, and perhaps this once small trading outpost became a sanctuary for freedom fighters and other citizens of the settled systems who were being troubled by the United Colonies. Now, I don't want to go too deep into the colony wars, as we covered it a lot in our United Colonies deep dive. However, we do know that the Freestar Collective formed outside of the United Colonies, because why else would the United Colonies allow a new government faction to form? I believe, and of course this is just speculation on my part, that the Freestar Collective in short just became tired and sick of the United Colonies rules and possibly harsh punishments and treatments, as it does seem slightly obvious that the United Colonies are a very controlling military and government faction. And this is probably why the Freestar Collective was formed in the first place, in order to fight back and create some kind of rebel alliance or resistance against the United Colonies. When we compare the 2 cities, owned by their respective factions of course, you can clearly see which one is better off, with how clean New Atlantis is in comparison to Aquila City. So it seems to me that after trying to push back the United Colonies, the Freestar Collective soon realised that this wasn't a fight that they were going to win, and therefore designed a peace treaty in which the United Colonies signed probably only to save face, as we should keep in mind that many of the New Atlantis settlers probably have family members that left their homes to go and fight with the Freestar Rangers. However, with the United Colonies owning most star systems, we can assume that it's very difficult for the Freestar Collective to find any resources, and my theory is that they're running out, which is likely where us, the player, comes in, Again, this is just speculation, but we do know that we can sign up and join the Freestar Collective and the Freestar Rangers, and I have a strong feeling that our missions with them will be about stealing or finding resources for the greater good, possibly stealing from the United Colonies and bringing said resources back to the struggling citizens of Aquila City. But how long can that last? How long until that isn't a viable option anymore? Or how long until the UC catches on? Now, I have of course mentioned many times before how we are likely going to participate in another colony war during Starfield if we so choose, possibly ending this uneasy peace treaty and starting another war between the two factions and fighting for whichever side we see fit. And while it does appear that the United Colonies are the bad guys and the Freestar Collective are the lawful good option of Starfield's 4 main factions, we must keep in mind that it is entirely possible that we are being misled by Bethesda. The Freestar Collective see themselves as the peacekeepers of the settled systems who protect its citizens. But are they just lost in their views? If they manage to defeat and overcome the United Colonies and become the new owners of the settled systems, do they risk just becoming yet another corrupt government, taking bribes, not caring about its citizens and so much more? If the Freestar Rangers grow to the size of the United Colonies, will its members just be harder to control and keep an eye on? And even so, will controlling your members and the Rangers even be a viable option if you are so convinced in letting everyone be free to do what they like? Are the Freestar Collective just doomed either way? We likely and unfortunately won't know until we play Starfield in September. But that is our breakdown and deep dive on the Freestar Collective. Next time we will be covering Constellation, and why they're maybe not who we think they are. I hope you all enjoyed episode 3 of this series, and if you did, I kindly ask that you leave it a like to show your support and appreciation for the content, and help other fellow Starfield fans find this video. And if you are new to my channel and you wish to stay up to date on this series, consider subscribing. We also cover an absolute cluster of Starfield content every single week. We're also really hoping to hit 5,000 subscribers sometime soon, and we are really close, so if you do subscribe, I thank you so much for your support into getting us further to that goal. And lastly, a very big shout out to our channel members, Jesse, Maze, and Snakes Games, for their continued support to myself and the channel. It is very much appreciated, and I cannot express how much it means to me. But with that all said and done, thank you all so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in our 4th and final episode.